Okay, so now we are going to implement the endpoint to get the video thumbnail. First, we are going to do the test, of course, and what we are going to return from the endpoint is actually a application based 64 string. So we can use as data base 64 in our IMAX stack. First, we do the test, of course. So here we are going to have a new test method, public sync task get video thumbnail sync. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we are going to call the list videos and we are going to get the first item from there. Videos list equals wait video index controller equals new controller. We pass the configuration. Controller dot get video thumbnail async. Get video thumbnails. Actually, we are not using async for the other ones, so get video thumbnail. And well, we don't need that. This one is going to be the list videos. I'm sorry. List videos. Okay, video list. So we create an OK object result variable. Well, assert. Well, we don't need to validate that in there because it's validating in the other test. So we can basically just convert it. Now you see that if I do this, we have here the value, and then we can convert that to the videos response. So it was list videos response, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I'm gonna use the full namespace in there. Okay, so var videos list equals lb equals, let's just create an alias for this namespace so we can easier okay, videos list is going to be no system.text.json JSON serializer deserialize into an LB response. We are going to add this to the namespace and actually videos list result dot value videos list. Let's see. Value is an object, so I believe this only receives strings. So I believe that's actually going to work. First video actually. What we need to pass to the get video thumbnail, we need to pass it the location, the account ID, the usual, the video ID, and the thumbnail ID. So first video equals videos list dot results dot first. We are going to add link namespace. Well, we already have in the first video we have the thumbnail ID and we have the video ID, which is this one in the name ID. So var result equals controller dot get video thumbnail video ID and thumbnail ID is going to be the thumbnail ID in there. This will be an asynchronous method and it doesn't exist yet, so we are going to create it. Here it is. And now again we go and check for the request URL. It's basically this one. We will create the string request URL, add interpolation, okay. We know that this part is actually going to be replaced by the Azure configuration base URL that we have in here. Okay. Then we are going to set in here the location. Here we are going to set the video ID, the thumbnail ID, format, and the access token. The access token. The account ID, we get it from the configuration. You are already receiving the video ID, video ID and the thumbnail ID. And we actually mentioned that we want the base 64. We hit try in here. You see that the format we can choose base 64. So we just create a variable here in case we are going to change it later. Format equals base 64, and then here we are adding, let's see, format equals format, and the access token is going to be the I believe this is actually the video access token. So video access token equals, we still don't have it, so we are going to leave it like that at the moment. Video access token. So first we actually are going to implement public task public async task iaction result get video access token. We are going to set an ID. This is going to be an HTTP get. Let's see if all others this have. Okay. We need to go and check the get video access token because we are going to need it. Get video. Yeah, I believe it's this one. Get video access token. String request URL equals. Okay. We know this part is going to be replaced by the configuration. We could actually create a method so we don't do that part each time. This is configuration, because most of this is really similar, so we could do it. That was the account ID. BDD, we're receiving it as parameter, and the allow edit is going to be set to allow edit, which we are also going to return as parameter, and we are going to set the value as false by default. HTTP client, we create a new instance. In a future video we'll actually move that to use HTTP factory, but for now we are not going to do it. Get string async request URL get video access token string return result should be a string. Okay, put the await in there. Let's make this asynchronous, and we replace the let's see, task string. Okay, so var video access token equals equals this. It's going to be async. Yes. And return okay at the moment, because we still haven't finished that one. We are going to test this one. So actually, this one is video access token. And now we are going to create a test for get video access token. So we'll leave this one like this at the moment. Public async task. So we need to get, but actually we need to do all of this for this one too. Bar video access token result equals wait controller get video access token for the first video ID, and we are not going to set it. And now, yeah, basically if it is an okay result, we know we have the token. So video access token result. I'll just name it result. This is the main one. Let's compile this. And we'll run the test for the get video access token, and then we will be able to continue in the other. So let's see. It says that the get video thumbnail is not returning anything. Yeah, that's true at the moment. Let's return okay at the moment, but we'll need to go back to it. That's going to be an HTTP GET, and it's going to return, it's going to be public async task of a action result. Okay. So let's wait a little bit for that to be finished, and we'll continue. Okay, it already compiled. Let's add the breakpoint for the get video access token. Let's run the test. Get I still don't see the test in there. Okay, I forgot to mark it with test method. Get video access token, yeah. So we should see the get video access token in a second in here after it compiles. Get video access token will debug that test, verify that that's working, and then we will be able to go and easily test the get video thumbnail method too. So let's wait a little bit longer for the actual test to run. Okay, try to run it again because I'm having some issues with this. Okay. So we get the videos. Something happened trying to deserialize the values, so let's see what the error says. P is an invalid start of a value. So let's see a little bit more in detail why we get that. So videos list result, what is the value we have at the moment? Let's see. Mission evaluator. Okay, actually we are getting, it's not JSON what we are getting, so we can just convert it. So that should work. Just wait for that to compile. And let's try to run the test again. So videos list, it's already casted. We have all the data in there. And let's see if for get video access token is actually working. We got an error. Let's see what's the error. It says unauthorized. Okay, so that's basically because our get videos access token also need to have the header with the subscription. Also needs to have the header with the subscription key. So it's already compiled. Let's debug the test again. And now I think it should work. So let's see, we get an okay result, and we should probably have, we don't have anything in the values because I believe we are not returning the token. Actually, we should, it seems. Let's just verify. Let's go back. Let's step into. let's see. Okay. What do we have in here? A trial. Okay, accounts, access token, and I believe we are missing something. Let's see the URL. Let's see if this actually is. Let's see if that actually is making us have issues. So there is something need to check probably. The request URL seems to be okay. The account ID, video ID. Okay, so when we set that to true, we get the access token. So let's see. In this case, then we are going to remove the parameter, and we are always going to return true for testing purposes. Now we are going to leave it, but we are going to initialize it to true. We are actually going to send it as true from our unit test. And let's see. Get video thumbnail. In this case, wait, this video access token sync video ID true. Okay. We'll compile this, and this test actually should already pass. Let's just run it and we'll check. So it actually passed. Now let's continue with this get video thumbnail. So we have this test. Remember that we need to get the actual thumbnail, all of these. Actually we need to get everything out to here, which is going to be the same. Okay, and then we get the result, and the result is okay. We know that we got the image. Saying here we have the access token, we are already passing it, we pass the format, we need to do the HTTP client. Okay, and then the result is actually going to be get a string async for the request URL, and we are just going to return a string which will be the base 64 representation for the image, for the thumbnail. Yeah, so let's build the application. Let's go meanwhile to the source code for this test. I'll add a couple of breakpoints in there. And we'll debug this. We'll debug this test. So let's see. We get the list. We get the first item. Now we invoke the controller method. Now we go and get the video access token. We should already have it. There it is, our video access token. We set the request URL. The request URL is okay in there. And now the result. I forgot to do the await. So let's see. We run this. We execute the request URL, and the result should be this is actually the base 64 representation for the video thumbnail. We go out of this test, and if the result is an okay result, basically we should see here that we have the value or test passed. Now if we run all of our tests, probably all of them are going to pass. So there it is. In the next video we are going to use that get video thumbnail endpoint to render the thumbnail in our client pages. Thank you very much and have a great day.